Joined by head coach Chris Rusiewicz from Guilford College football. They were picked number 3 in this year's preseason poll. Coach, last year you had an outstanding team. You were basically a quarter away from possibly having an undefeated record. Talk a little bit about last year's squad coming into this year's season.
Well, I think last year's squad obviously was one of the best Guilford College has ever had. One of the things we look at every year is, can we improve and get better and do things better than we've ever done before? And going from 2-8 to 5-5, 6-4, 8-2, and then 9-1. Obviously, our leadership, our upperclassmen, and our staff are looking to take that next step and see if we can win 10 or more games this year. So it's pretty exciting about where we're at. The past the past. It's time to move on, and we've had plenty of time to do that.
Now, you've had a balanced team, and that's something great to say because you have an explosive offense and a defense that not only like to stop people, but also like to take the ball away from folks. Let's start with the offense here. And the quarterback position is number 1. You had one of the best in the country last year. Talk a little bit about what you see coming out of not only that position, but your offensive skill players as a whole.
Well, obviously replacing a 4-year starter is quite a challenge, but I think it's something that sparks a lot of excitement in our program. The last time we had to do that, that's when, our former quarterback turned into a starter as a freshman. We went 5-5 that year and haven't had a losing season since. So I think there's some general excitement in the program right now of who that next guy's going to be. I mean, we got the front runner right now is a junior. Christian Miles is a guy that's been kind of going through the process of developing behind Matt for the last 2 years in our program. He's going to have a very strong arm. He's going to be more athletic. There's different things we can do with him. There's a rising senior out of Florida, A.J. Pasquale, and then, of course, Joe Farrick, who was the brother of our backup quarterback behind Matt for the last 4 years, is going to be a sophomore. And I think the 3 of them are going to be competing through camp. We do have 3 freshmen coming in that are really good, and recruit them based on the fact that there's an opportunity to come in and compete and be the next 4-year starter at Guilford College. I think there's some excitement there. And then we also have a junior transfer coming in as well, who was at one point the number 1 quarterback coming out of state of North Carolina. So we're pretty excited about that as well.
Now, running back, you have another dynamic player in D'Eric Bell. He's a preseason All-American as a returner this year from D3Football.com. But we know what he can do running the ball this year. What do you expect out of him?
Well, D'Eric, I think every year has just improved in so many ways. I mean, he's putting on weight. I think he's, well over 200 pounds now. He works his tail off. He's in the best shape of his life. He always has. He's only going to be a junior for us. The plan last year was to be a number 2 and spell some time. And when our starter got hurt, I think it was game 3, we had to insert him into the starting lineup. But he is an explosive, obviously, return man. He's an explosive guy out of the backfield, catching the ball. He's an explosive runner, behind the lineman. And he showed that, being a 7-game starter for us last year. So I think that, his role is going to continue to be what it is, with the addition of, more touches if we can find a way to get him the ball.
And let's switch sides to the defense now. You've got kind of a mix here with this one. You've got a lot of experienced, good quality players back, but then you also have a lot of experienced, good quality players to replace. Talk a little bit about your defensive unit and who you expect to lead this year.
Well, I think it all starts up front. I mean, on both sides of the ball, it's all going to start up front. I mean, I know you said defense, but, we have 7 guys coming back on the offensive line that started in 10 or more football games over the last 2 years. And combined between those 7 guys is 120 career starts. Each have started, like I said, an entire season. So there's going to be a lot of competition there. Well, take that over the defense. It's the exact same situation. We rotate 8 guys through on our front 4. 7 of those 8 guys from last year's squad are returning. So I think there's a lot of excitement there that, a whole another year of experience under their belt, as well as continue to put size and strength on their bodies. It's going to be very exciting for us. Our linebacker, obviously a 3-year starter, and Hunter Hoot's coming back at middle linebacker, to anchor that defense and be a leader of our defense. And he's done a great job this spring of doing that. And then, replacing, obviously, another all-conference linebacker. We have 2 guys, and Nathan Campbell and Jared Davis are going to be competing for the other job. But all 3 of them are very quality linebackers. And I think the biggest question that people probably look at us right now is running a 4-2-5 is our secondary. We basically got one lone starter back, Carl Roberts, who was a 3-year starter for us. He played corner, weak side safety, strong safety. He played them all back there. But again, Tim Marshall, who started for us as a corner last year as a true freshman, is back. And then, of course, we're replacing it with 3 other guys. And, we're looking at guys such as D. Jones, who will be a rising junior, Q. Stewart, who's a rising sophomore, probably one of the fastest kids in our program at, going to compete at corner with us. Victor Smith, who will be a junior. And, we're finally in our program right now where we've had kids that have groomed through the system for a year or 2, and now they're getting ready to enter themselves into the starting lineup where we're not sitting there counting on freshmen. Now, there's obviously quality freshmen that have a chance to break in the lineup. They have the same opportunities as everybody else. But I think the quality and the experience of guys being in our system is going to be huge. And then the last one is Trayvon Simmons, who will also be a rising sophomore. So, again, we got some great players back there. We're going to be faster than we've ever been back there. I think more aggressive than we've ever been back there. It's pretty exciting to, where we're at right now.
And let's cap things off here by taking a look at your perspective on the league as a whole this season coming into the 2016 campaign.
Well, I think every year you look at the league and you say, it's quality as teams, continue to beat on each other week in and week out, But I think it's still the same. The preseason poll, whatever it may be, I can't even remember what you told me we even are. But I think the point of it is every week you go into, with the expectation if you got to win every game, as you saw last year, with a 9-1 record, we didn't even get an opportunity to be co-champions or even win a championship. So it shows you that really every game is important, and you got to win every game and just keep pushing through and not overlook anybody.